Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we are going to look at the chief elements of Shakespearean tragedies. Shakespeare has written all kinds of plays, among which his tragedies are considered to be very great and philosophical. And among all the tragedies, four tragedies are considered to be more philosophical, and they are considered to have to possess all the tragic elements that a tragedy should contain. And now we shall look at the important characteristic features in Shakespearean tragedies. The tragic hero, tragic flaw, tragic waste, conflict between good and evil, internal and external conflict, catharsis, supernatural elements, lack of poetic justice, and comic relief. In the first place comes the tragic hero. It is around him the whole story revolves. The tragic hero is not an ordinary man. He is an eminent person who is mostly an able administrator. For example, we could see King Lear as the King of England, Othello the Lieutenant of Venice, and Hamlet as the Prince of Denmark. So, the tragic heroes are mainly great and eminent personalities. In the next place, we could see tragic flaw as an important tragic element. Hamartia is the Greek name given to tragic flaw by Aristotle. Hamartia means an error or a sin, that is, an error or a sin or a flaw in the character of the hero. According to Aristotle, the tragic hero should meet his doom only because of his own tragic flaw and not because of external circumstances that may help the tragedy, but it should not be the main reason. Accordingly, all the Shakespearean great tragedies, in all the tragedies, the tragic heroes will possess a tragic flaw that will lead to their doom. For example, in Macbeth, his overvaulting ambition is said to be his tragic flaw, while in Hamlet, his procrastination is his tragic flaw. The next important element of a Shakespearean tragedy is tragic waste. In a tragedy, what do we mean by tragic waste? A hero, who is such an able administrator, who is so good, and who has so many good characteristics in him, has to face his doom with his opponent, and that is considered to be the tragic waste. So, in a tragedy, when the good is destroyed along with evil, the loss is known as a tragic waste. For example, we could say Hamlet dies with Claudius in Hamlet, while King Lear and Cordelia die with Goneril, Regan, and Edmund, the villains of the play. Again, we could say in Othello dies while Iago also faces his doom. Likewise, a tragic waste is nothing but the destruction of good with the evil. Conflict between good and evil is the next characteristic feature of a Shakespearean tragedy. Almost all the Shakespearean tragedy is the conflict is the story is the conflict between good and evil. The problem here is, in a tragedy or in a normal story, the good will win while the evil suffers in the end. But in a Shakespearean tragedy, the good perishes with the evil. Mostly the good ones suffer while the evil one have their supremacy over the good. For example, in Hamlet, the good prince Hamlet has to face off with the evil Claudius. So, in all the plays, if we could see King Lear, if we take King Lear, in King Lear, Lear has to face his evil daughters. There is the conflict between good and evil again. Catharsis. This is the next element in a tragedy. Catharsis means cleansing up of one's pent up emotions, that is, relieving of one's stored up emotions. Purgating or cleansing is the meaning for catharsis. So, when we watch a tragedy, we identify with the characters and take their losses personally, and we suffer an emotional breakup, and this leads to a kind of emotional peace in our mind, and that is called as catharsis. Supernatural elements are given a free play in the plays of Shakespeare. We could say that the supernatural elements induce the tragic mood of the tragedy. For example, the witches and the ghost. And Banquo's ghost, actually they induce the mood of the tragedy in Macbeth, while it is the ghost of the father of Hamlet that induces Prince Hamlet to take revenge on its murderer. The final one is the comic relief. This element, while we consider comic relief, it is not comic relief is not suggested by Aristotle. Still, we see Shakespeare using comic relief in most of his tragedies. Actually, this comic relief seems to lighten the mood of the audience, but in actuality, in literally it seems to lighten the mood, but in actuality, it only intensifies the tragic mood. For example, the grave diggers in Hamlet and the drunken porter in Macbeth. The grave diggers in Hamlet will be digging the grave for Hamlet's lover Ophelia when Hamlet comes over there, and then they sing some philosophy of life, and that only though it the song portrays some light mood, the mood of the play intensifies with the philosophical ideas they reveal in the song. Thus, we have seen all the important characteristic elements of a Shakespearean tragedy. Now, for the essay of Shakespearean tragedies, you can click the description link below. Like and subscribe our channel for more such videos, and a big thank you.